What's going on, my fellow troops? My name is Xavvo, and welcome back to Project Overhaul. So this is going to be an update video. There's quite a bit to talk about, and it kind of covers the last month or so since the announcement of this new project. So first things first, that I want to get out of the way is that since then, the idea that I had in mind for this project actually changed. I didn't actually go over the style in that video because it was simply just a background of the cover art for the project with me just talking over what it's going to be about. But if you remember in my Twitter rant, I did actually show some examples, given examples on the screen since it wasn't too long after that video. And I said, hey, I'll show you a few examples already of how far I've gotten into it. And yeah, basically they're all outdated now because none of those thumbnails I showed in that video are longer the current thumbnails. They were an idea I initially came up with, and it had the same text style that I have on the Project Overhaul cover, that same text. So there was a period where I was like making thumbnails in that style with like a kind of glowish sort of thing around the screen with a little zoom GFX kind of, you know what I mean? The ones that like most thumbnails use, like the zooming white streaks on the side of the screen. I was using those on the thumbnail, and then I had that text and then whatever background I could find with a sort of effects over it, and I just wasn't happy with it because every time I made that thumbnail it was just like altering between each time I made a new one. Like they always slightly looked different and they never looked appealing to me. So I very shortly after like announcing that, I was giving up on making those thumbnail styles. There was loads of them I changed that I didn't like. There was ones that hadn't been changed yet, and I was like, right, this is a mess. Everything just needs a complete new fresh start. Just everything needs to be set clear. So what I did was go back to kind of ground one. I kept a lot of the popular videos, or the really important ones, I kept them public. But most of the thumbnails, most of the videos, well, without the new updated thumbnails that I was starting to work on, which was pretty much all, I think every single one of them, I was switching them on unlisted again, and I was setting the thumbnail to just a white screen, just so it makes it easier for me as the editor to look through my channel and see which thumbnails have been set without getting confused about which ones are which, because they all have a mix of different thumbnail styles. So yeah, there is still a load of thumbnails you can see on my playlists actually that are white screened, and it's because it hasn't been finished yet. So I have come up with this new style. I came up with it quite a while ago, and the first one I actually made with this thumbnail style was my first video on the channel. But yeah, my first video, which is the Season 3 of Modern Warfare, that was the first thumbnail I made with this sort of sky background, a little tiny thin rim of colour around the thumbnail that matches the colour of the text and the style for this thumbnail. So let's say I was making a thumbnail with red text in mix with the grey and white gradiented text, because that's what I do. I always do the white text, and then I choose what colour I want to do for that thumbnail, and it usually alters between yellow, green, red, orange, pink, something like that. And blue. So it's kind of a general color scheme. So I determine what color that text is going to be, and then I set that same color secondary text, whichever color it is, to be the same color as the border that goes around the thumbnail as well. And the reason I went with the sky background is because it's very clean. It's something a lot of COD channels use, sky backgrounds, but mine in particular looks a bit different to the ones everyone else is using, which look kind of generic and really blue saturated skies with like thick clouds on them. Mine's kind of just like a simple, clean sky background, and I thought I'd stick with that because it actually kind of gives my thumbnails a general style that will stick with people. And I don't think my previous one that I promised to stick with people, I don't think it really stuck with people at all, because ever since changing the thumbnails, nobody was recognizing my videos. The videos were actually getting less views, and I can guarantee it was because I changed the thumbnail and the style wasn't very me. It wasn't niched. It wasn't really niche. Like, there is so many channels that have the white streak zoom effects on the screen and a little light glow and then a Gaussian blur in the background. It's not really that original. So realistically, I thought I had to switch it up, and I did. So now this thumbnail style you probably see on all my videos now, that is going to generally probably say, oh, Xavvo. It's not going to say like, oh, I don't know, who's immortal, or it might say, oh, it's Nick. Like, you're going to see it and probably say, that's him, you know, Xavvo. So I think that's going to work now, my thumbnail style. I've kept it for a while, and now I also want to get onto the fact that this is going to be the 120th video that comes out on this channel, this video when it comes up, meaning the thumbnail that will come out on this video will be the 60th thumbnail that's been updated with this new style. So, I actually perfectly worked this out. I was like, right, next video is going to be the Project Overhaul update video, and I'll try and get as many thumbnails as I can do until I've got 59 completed, and then this will be the 60th. So we're halfway through the new refurbished thumbnail style, so hopefully you like it. And I changed the description. I don't know if I changed the descriptions beforehand, but I announced that I was going to change them, but I did change them, but since then I've slightly changed them again. So what I've done now is, this also ties in with the titles of the videos. I've tried to make the titles as clean, simple, and aesthetical as possible. So instead of having like 50 rows of just like brackets, asterisks, just capitals, like, oh my god, epic new fucking blueprint in this game, how to get, guide, this, like all over. I don't like when titles are just overly complicated. A lot of videos will have like some titles similar to that, not as crazy, but there will be a lot of them that are still like that because they're tutorials. But generally with class setups or little talk videos, I've tried to go for the lowercase type text, capitalize where needed, for like names of the game I'm talking about and so on. And yeah, so I've kind of tried to make them simplified, and what I've done so that these videos still reach out to people despite their very lack of information in the title and their very simplified titles, is in the first 2 lines of the description, I've actually put these little, I guess you could say, tag areas where I've put like a ton of titles that will fit in to at least the first 2-3 lines of the description, of different altering titles of what the video is about that people would actually see if they put on the search results. So it's kind of cool with YouTube. Your title doesn't just determine where it comes up in the search results. Most people think if I'm going to make a tutorial on the best MP5 class setup, they'd have to make best MP5 class setup. You actually don't have to put that in the title. You could put it in the first 2 lines of the description, or include it somewhere in your tags, and it will appear under that search result, because the first 2 lines of the description are actually showed underneath the search results when you search for a video. It actually comes up with the first 2 lines of the description, so it actually affects where it comes up in the search results and if it comes up. So that's what I've done. I've put all the complicated, ugly titles in the first 2 lines of the description, and the simplified is going to be what the title is, so it doesn't actually look like an eyesore to flick past when you're looking over my videos. So yeah, also with all the videos, I've like put like if a social media is deleted now, so like if you go back to all my older videos before I made the Twitter deleting video, I've just put like not available, because I don't like to be confusing. I know there's going to be a lot of people who will watch my old videos, and people who still come to my old video and that being their first video they've seen from me. I wouldn't want them to think, oh, he's got Twitter, just to click the link and it says, hey, this doesn't exist anymore, because I just find that to be extremely just a nuisance. Like, if you're a creator and you take pride in your videos and helping people, I think it's great that you do update them. I can understand if it's harder, if you've got like thousands of videos, hundreds of videos, and you can't like change every single one of them individually. There is an automatic system with YouTube where you can change a general description that will copy for every single video. But what that does is it doesn't take into account all the other videos where you might have said, hey, there's a link in the description to this website or something else you mentioned in the video, or a channel you shouted out. So I don't like doing that sort of automatic description changer. I like to change them manually, and yeah, so that's what I've done. So all social medias before I deleted them, or whenever I stopped using them, are not available if they were in the description since making them. And any social medias that never existed are not going to be in the very first video. For example, you'll probably only see my Instagram and my Twitter is plugged, and my description, my Discord or my Twitch might not even exist in the first video's description, or my second or third video's description, because at that time I didn't make them. So I'm trying to keep things as sort of presented, realistic as they can be, just keeping everything up to date. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I know this video is going to be a lot longer than the first one I made, but that was an announcement video, so that was only about 2-3 minutes long, 4 minutes maybe. So this is an update video, so sorry if this was really long, but anyone who likes long content from me will probably not be complaining, I don't know. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to smash a like on the video, comment if you want, that's up to you, and yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye guys.